Imagine a desert so vast that direction becomes a myth. A place where the horizon never gets closer, and the sun doesn't shine, it presses down. In 1994, during the Marathon des Sables, one of the harshest foot races on Earth, one runner vanished into the Sahara. Not for hours, for 9 days. This is the true story of Mauro Prosperi, the man the desert tried to erase. Mauro Prosperi was a former Italian police officer and a trained endurance athlete. Not the kind of person who panics easily, not the kind of person who quits quickly. He entered the Marathon des Sables in April 1994, starting near Foum, Zgouid, Morocco. The race covers roughly 251 kilometers across the Sahara. Competitors carry their own supplies. They run through heat that feels like fire. To Mauro, this wasn't just a race. It was a test of identity, a challenge that whispers, "Are you really as strong as you think?" By day 3, runners are no longer a group. They're scattered across emptiness, each person fighting alone with their own pace, their own pain, their own head. The Sahara is deceptive. In the morning, it feels survivable. By noon, it becomes punishment. By afternoon, it becomes dangerous. Every step dries you. Every breath feels thinner, hotter. The sweat disappears so fast you don't realize how much you're losing. And Mauro, doing well in the race, pushes forward. Then the sky changes. A sandstorm hits, ferocious, blinding, lasting about 8 hours. The kind of storm that deletes the landscape. Most runners stop, crouch, wait for it to pass. But Mauro makes a decision, one that will decide everything. He keeps moving. He believes he can still follow the trail. He believes he can outrun the chaos. Sand cuts into his skin. It bleeds his nose. It irritates his throat as he breathes particles with every gasp. By the time the storm dies, daylight is fading. And Mauro realizes the truth. The trail is gone. The markers are gone. And so is everyone else. There's a specific kind of fear that arrives in the desert at night, because the desert doesn't just become dark, it becomes infinite. Mauro shelters behind a bush and covers his face. The wind finally calms, but the silence is worse. He tells himself, "In the morning, I'll find the trail." That's what hope sounds like when it's still alive. At sunrise, Mauro runs for hours, convinced he'll catch someone. He climbs to the top of a high dune and sees nothing. No runners, no flags, no vehicles. The storm erased the world. His water is dropping fast, and he understands the desert math. If you can't find direction, you lose time. If you lose time, you lose water. If you lose water, the desert decides the ending. Mauro remembers an old war story, something about recycling fluids. So he does it. He urinates into a bottle to reuse the liquid. It sounds unthinkable to most people, but in survival, dignity is a luxury. Water is not comfort in the desert. Water is time. Later, Mauro sees a low helicopter, likely connected to the race search effort. His heart jumps. He fires a small flare, his one bright signal, but under the harsh desert sun, it's too dim. The helicopter passes and keeps going. That moment, when help is close enough to hear but too far to notice, can crush a person. Mauro watches it disappear, and now he is truly alone. Wandering for shade and any sign of life, Mauro finds a Marabout shrine, a small Muslim structure used by travelers in the desert. He rushes to it like it's salvation, but it's abandoned. Inside, he finds a coffin. No living person, only stillness. He stays there for days, using it as shelter, hoping rescuers will find him. The Marabou becomes a prison of shade. Outside, heat that kills. Inside, time that drains. Here is what desert survival becomes. Move as little as possible. Protect the body from sun. Think only in small goals, 1 hour then the next. Keep the mind from collapsing. Mauro uses what he has. He uses wet wipes for moisture, licks morning dew off rocks, and continues to recycle fluids. He's not living, he's staying functional. Because in survival, the real enemy is not only heat. It's the moment your brain whispers, "Stop." Days pass. Dehydration changes you. It makes your thoughts heavier. It makes despair feel logical. At his lowest, Mauro attempts to end his life, an act mentioned in multiple retellings of the incident, before survival instinct takes back control. And that's the turning point. Because after that moment, the mind stops negotiating. It becomes simple: survive. Inside the Marabou there are bats. Mauro kills and eats them. Later evidence, like bat skeletons at the shrine, was reportedly found by a film crew retracing his steps. Accounts also describe him drinking bat blood in desperation. This is the part people judge from a safe chair with a full glass of water. But survival isn't a clean story. Survival is what you do when the body is failing and the desert gives you no options. Eventually, Mauro leaves the Marabou. He begins moving in cooler hours and managing exposure. He keeps walking, searching for any sign of civilization. He believes he is still in Morocco. He is wrong. He is drifting across the desert's invisible borders. Mauro has wandered roughly 291 kilometers off course. He crosses the Jebel Bani range and unknowingly enters Algeria. The desert has turned him around so completely that even nations don't matter. Only distance does. Only survival does. Mauro is finally found by local desert people. Accounts describe Tuareg/nomads and brought toward help. He's given mint tea and goat's milk, but his body can't handle food. He vomits. He's loaded onto a camel and taken toward the nearest village, alive, but barely. Then another twist. He's turned over to military police, suspected of being a spy, and interrogated. Eventually, he's identified and taken to a hospital in Tindouf, Algeria. He remains under care for days, finally able to contact his wife, who had been told he was likely dead. That phone call is the moment the nightmare becomes real. Because for Mauro, the desert ended, but for his family, the desert had been inside their minds the whole time. Mauro Prosperi's story is famous because it shows a truth people hate. The desert doesn't kill you instantly. It slowly strips away the things that make you, you: comfort, certainty, pride, control. Until only one thing is left: will. And for 9 days, Mauro kept choosing the next breath. In the Sahara, you don't get defeated by one big moment. You get defeated by thousands of small ones. And Mauro Prosperi survived them, one by one, until the desert finally let him go. If you want the next story, subscribe now so you don't miss the next survival story.